afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Saturday, August 14th, and you know what that means. It is time for the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, getting ready for the bad blood. Soon coming up, it is me, Jeremy Pierce. Welcome, one and all. Check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. And today's show, Master of Disguise Part 3. I think this is Part 3. This is probably Part 4, but I can't find 3 parts, so we're gonna go with Part 3. This is the WWE edition. What is Master of Disguise? It's pretty much simple. It's about wrestlers that have changed gimmicks, whether it's for the better or whether it's for the worse. But for now, you know what's next, so just go on and hit my music. All right. This next group of people are those who I think could really use a gimmick change. They're kind of wallowing right now, and they just need something to give them that extra edge. And we start with number 5, Omos. MVP is gone. Bobby Lashley is gone. Omos is just languishing. And at some point, you've got to be more than just a giant. You know what I mean? We need some depth. Big Show did it. Kane, Taker, Big Bill, Bam Bam. You have to be more than just tall. You know what I mean? Remember Eli Cottonwood? Bland. Something's got to change with Omos because it's there. It's right there for him, and a gimmick change, a tweak here or there, I think would really propel him. Number 4, Baron Corbin. It sucks that he's here, but ever since being called back to the main roster, nothing's been done with him. We had Constable Corbin, we've had the Lone Wolf Corbin, we had Big Money Corbin, of course we had everybody's favorite Baron. We had King Corbin, we've had everybody's favorite Corbin, bum ass Baron Corbin. He works well with gimmicks. We just have to find the right gimmick for him. It can work. He has all the qualities. He can talk, he can wrestle, he's funny, he can do serious. Just give this man something, because just being Baron Corbin, sorry to say, is not really working out for him. Number 3, Nikita Lyons. I also wanted to put Lola Vice here because they're in the same boat. They're just white women with fat asses. Sorry, it's just the truth. You need to be something more than I'm thick, I'm hot, I'm white, I got a big butt, I can kick you. Add something there. Take that package and build on it. Nikita Lyons, after getting hurt time and again, may not have much time left in NXT because the women there are currently doing really good work. And yeah, when she comes back, they're going to give her another shot, but don't just come back as the same Nikita Lyons. Add something there. Number 2, Apollo Crews, Baron Corbin's tag team partner. He is in the exact same boat. He was ultimately at his best when he really built on his Nigerian heritage. The man won a match at WrestleMania against Big E, winning the United States Championship. Y'all remember that? That worked for him. He had a heavy in Toon, something like that. I can't remember his name, but that worked. And then he got sent down to NXT for some reason, and then had this like journal gimmick or whatever where he was just contemplating things, and that kind of worked. But ever since being called back to the main roster, nothing. His Nigerian accent, all of that is just gone. Honestly, go back to that. Just do it, because he is languishing away just like this person at number 1, Tegan Knox. She can't get on TV. She just has nothing. And her really close friend, former tag team partner Dakota Kai, even though Dakota's her right now and she's part of Damage Control, So she's kind of fine. She has a group to protect her, whereas Tegan has nothing. Tegan's got to give us something. She might need a creative freedom like in AEW or TNA. I would love to see Tegan Nox in TNA because they desperately need more women on their roster. But Tegan Nox can't get on TV. We've got to fix that. Say, hey, let's try this. Let's try this. Go to NXT. And that's usually what happens. We send people down to NXT where they can work on themselves before they get called back up. Because right now, Tegan Nox needs a change. We'll be right back. The spotlight is on once again, and this time it is shining on Pretty Deadly. Yeah, the flamboyant tag team. These guys are pretty legit. Kit Wilson and his partner Elton Prince are currently aligned with Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax. This actually works for them, as right now they're not in the tag team division. Well, they are in the tag team division. They're not in the tag team title hunt right now. So to keep them on TV, to keep them relevant, you pair them with a gimmick. You pair them with people that are already on TV and have them be influential in it, and pair them with, well, Queen Nia and Princess Tiffy works. These dudes are really, really solid. They've done some really good work in NXT, and being called to the main roster, you think they would maybe fail, but they've done a very sizable job. They're funny, and I think they fit into that same category there where Chelsea Green is at, is they're kind of untouchable. You know, they can suffer a loss and they not be affected by them. You know, I say that about a couple people, and they're just ready for the moment. Their time will come. Their moment will come where they will be tag team champions because it just works for them. But right now, pairing them up with Tiffany Stratton, pairing them up with Nia Jax is a very, very good deal for them. We'll be right back. The Master of Disguise. This is a fun topic I really enjoy discussing. Essentially what we have here are the gimmick changes. People that went from one gimmick to another. Did it help them? Did it hurt them? And we're just going to have a really, really good time talking about it. So on the last one, we had Kevin Thorne, Jimmy Wang Yang, Lance Archer, and Nikki A.S.H. We could probably talk about Nikki A.S.H. again. Kevin Thorne, he went from Mordecai to the Vampire. Jimmy Wang Yang went from Akil to Jimmy Wang Yang. Lance Archer went from Lance Hoyt to Lance Archer. And then Nikki A.S.H. went from Nikki Cross to Nikki A.S.H. Well, now to Abby the Witch. But first, we're going to start with none other than over down at NXT, one Wendy Chu. Now, she is someone who I am really, really enjoying. I want the world for her. So where do we start with Wendy Chu? Well, she wrestled on the independent circuit in Ring of Honor as Karen Q. She was then hired into Ring of Honor, right? And she faced the likes of Deonna Purrazzo, who else? And Kelly Klein, a few other people. And you saw that she has something there. So she gets pulled into the WWE, right? And she competed in the Mae Young Classic in 2018 under the name Karen Q. Later in February of 2019, she has signed with the company and was put into the Performance Center. Now, she had wrestled as Karen Q, primarily teaming with Xia Li, because you know the WWE can't help but put non-American superstars together in tag teams and groups. I am looking at you, LWO. And then she got hurt, right? She suffered a fractured lateral malleolus. So she spent 2 years rehabbing and undergoing surgery. So while she is away, right, you forget about it. And people are away, you forget about it, especially if they're not really on social media. So she returns in 2019, right? And she has a stable, Tian Sha. Now, Tian Sha was a stable of her, Xia Li, and Boa, and I was all for it. But she wasn't here as Karen Q. She was here as Mei Ying. Now you're asking yourself, who in the blue hell is Mei Ying? Because they never ever really showed Mei Ying's face. So she was kind of just there. She would sit on a throne and send Boa and Xia Li to do her bidding. And it should have worked. And something just went wrong. Mei Ying, I think, rarely fought. She would just sit on the throne and Xia and Boa would just lose. And we knew Xia had it. Xia was good. Xia was special. Go check out Xia Li in TNA because she is definitely going to TNA. That is neither here nor there, but we're sticking with Wendy Chu. So Tian Sha kind of just failed, and it shouldn't have. So in November of 2021, Tian Sha was dropped. Mei Ying was dropped, and then she was repackaged as Wendy Chu. So who is Wendy Chu? What is the Wendy Chu gimmick? The Wendy Chu gimmick is she's just sleepy. Like, she comes and wrestles in a onesie. Her theme was like lullaby music. She has a pillow. Wrestled in slippers. Had a night mask, sleep mask. And I'm thinking, how will this get over? You know what I mean? But it was fun. She was getting over, and it was working. She was becoming a crowd favorite. She was in the Dusty Tag Team Classic, teaming with Dakota Kai. She was challenging for the NXT Women's Championship, and then she went on to feud with Tiffany Stratton, who she defeated in a lights out match. So it was working, but injury, and she suffered another injury. She was written off television, and we saw her attacked in the most dangerous place in all of professional wrestling, the NXT parking lot. That's where listen, that's where she got beat, and we know about the NXT parking lot. It's just don't be there. It's just a bad place. There have been so many people taken out in this parking lot. Just quarantine it. Let nobody be in it. But anyway, she was written off of television, and when she returned, she had a more aggressive persona. It was like she was having nightmares. And she formed a short alliance with Tatum Paxley. It ended within a month, but she was now challenging for more championships. She was now more aggressive. She was now getting more W's. She challenged Kelani Jordan for the NXT North American Women's Championship. She just challenged Jordan Grace for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. So the Wendy Chu gimmick is working. Will it translate to the main roster? I'm not sure, but right now, in the bits and pieces, the doses we have for it within NXT and TNA, it is working. And her style is good because for some reason it just clicks. Her regular style was technical with a mix of technical wizardry, some aerial assaults, and a bunch of suplexes, and she's up that with this new Wendy Chu gimmick, and it's more aggressive, and it just works. I like this, and I want to see Wendy Choo get down. Then we have, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep this one short and sweet because it's just classic. Matthew Hardy. We're not going to go from Matt to Broken. We're going to go from Matt Hardy to probably my favorite version of Matt Hardy. Version 1. So in that time frame, we know, he was part of Team Extreme with the Hardy Boys, him and his brother and Lita. And in 2002, when it looked like Team Extreme had patched things up, they were split, right? Jeff was drafted to Raw. Matt was drafted to SmackDown. Matt turned on his brother, and he started, challenging for belts. And once he joined SmackDown, he dubbed himself Matt Hardy version 1. He had a great hand signal, V Wanda, and it was just good. It was fun. He had a great theme song. He had quote unquote Mattitude. He had a Mattitude follower in Shannon Moore, and he was trying to get Shannon Moore to lose weight so he can compete for the Cruiserweight Championship. How good was Matt Hardy version 1? He was the Cruiserweight champion after defeating Billy Kidman, and Matt Hardy version 1 retained the championship against Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. Let that sink in. Mattitude was a thing. He would come down to the ring, and on the side of the screen, he would have his Matt facts. Let me give you some Matt facts. Mattitude is practiced in over 100 countries. Matt has beaten Undertaker 2 straight times. Matt likes English muffins. Matt has wrestled in 44 states, and it goes on and on. He strongly dislikes mustard. He will make WrestleMania a success. He is very humble. He likes his steak medium well. These were just good. I love this. His entrance, everything just worked for Matt Hardy. This is one of the gimmick changes that work. We can go talk about Jeff another time with the Willow gimmick, but Mattitude was a thing of beauty. Period. It didn't last. It had its time. It ran for 2 years. He feuded with Kane. This was the whole story thing. It was just good. It was fun. Matt Hardy knows how to work a gimmick, change a gimmick, because we still got Broken Matt Hardy we could talk about. We can go talk about Big Money Matt. There's a lot we can do, but a lot of people will tell you that even though Broken Matt Hardy is probably their all-time favorite, they have a soft spot for Matt Hardy version 1. Then we have Tennille Dashwood. This one didn't last long. So Emma, right? The professional wrestler Emma is very, very talented, right? And she truly didn't get a great shot in the WWE, because here's the thing about Emma. She was one of the people that helped start the women's revolution in NXT. She is that good. And first she had like this weird arm dancing gimmick and being a fan of Santino. It was just weird. But it got her on TV, right? And she was solid. She did enough, but it never really worked. Where things went wrong is the Emmalina gimmick. So she had suffered a back injury, right? And she was on hiatus for the better part of a year. And then a repackaging package vignette came, right? And it was the makeover of Emma to Emelina. And they displayed these gimmicks, these videos every week. And again and again and again. But she never showed up on TV. She was like wearing a dress and it was pretty. You know, the best way to describe it is Carmella, when Carmella came back as the post Jersey princess. You know, the one where she was wearing a dress, and I can't remember the name of that gimmick, but that was essentially Emelina, and then they gave it to Carmella. It never got on TV. She never got on TV. And it was just kind of a running joke, which sucked. There was no spot ready for her. And then it was just dropped because producers felt like she couldn't pull it off. Well, if you felt like she couldn't pull it off, one, don't come up with it. But two, maybe have her try it out on house shows. Maybe have her try it out in NXT. I'm just saying. And it was supposed to be the likes of Sable and the Cat. Emma's a very attractive woman. She could have pulled it off. Ash Pelicans is pulling it off right now. Tony Storm just pulled it off and is constantly doing it. The Emelina character appeared once and then went back from Emelina to Emma, and then that was it. Gone after that. And lastly, we have to talk about none other than the Big Red Machine, Kane. Now, yes, doing some weird stuff right now, but we have to talk about what he started as. What do you mean? So for the uninitiated, he started out in the WWE. We're skipping his start in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. He started out as Isaac Yankem, DDS. He was Jerry Lawler's private dentist. Yeah. And this gimmick went for 2 years. But it was all about his height and his weight. And what they promoted him as wasn't what he was. Then he just lost matches. Isaac Yankem was such a weird gimmick. If you're going to do the dentist thing, do the dentist thing. There's a certain dentist right now who's pretty over. As much as I dislike her, she's pretty over. And it was just a weird time. Like, he did stuff on the indies, and the gimmick never truly got over. He was hobnobbing it with a bunch of legends. Never really did anything. That was until the change came. April 1997, we were slowly building towards the re-debut of his new character, the character that would bring him to new heights, that would make him a Hall of Famer, that would make him a multiple-time world champion. Kane. I don't even need to discuss Kane. The change from Isaac Yankem to Kane is one of the greatest gimmick changes in the history of professional wrestling. Find me someone that tops it. There probably are a couple, but going from a dentist to the Big Red Monster being the Undertaker's brother, Hellfire and Brimstone, the Inferno, like, it just worked. And the rest is history. That's a gimmick change that worked. Those are your master of disguises. As you can see with today's episode, there are some that worked, there are some that didn't. Honestly, only two truly worked. One's getting over, the other one was just lost in the beginning. Never happened. I can't wait to talk about this again, because there are so many more we can do. But let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Coming up, we've got a couple lists. I'm going to knock out a couple of these lists for you for next week. We got a Let's Talk About It, Flashback Friday. SmackDown just debuted on USA, so we're going to look at the dark times of SmackDown. That's next Saturday's show. Check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course, the 215 on Twitter. And as always, Gigi Dolan, Bailey, Isla Dawn, Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale, and Anna J. Holla at your boy.